came to hear the story of Lieutenant Segen or Segen? Yes. Segen, first Lieutenant Aharon Karov. Now, I knew Rav Zeev Karov before we were both rabbis in Yeshiva High School in Israel. And when Aharon was wounded, my son had also been wounded. My son had been wounded in Golani, Aharon was in Sanchanim, but nothing compared to the injury of Aharon. We actually went to visit Aharon when he was still in hospital. I don't know if Rav Zeev remembers, because thousands of people were coming. Because the Jewish people truly get together as brothers, as we all know, Achi and Achim, in those moments. But my son said, he didn't know. I asked him, do you know Aharon Karov? They were in Sanchanim, they want me to say Yeshiva. He said, no. But the Abba, I feel we have to go. Because what he had been through, and he was still undergoing rehabilitation. But you came to hear the story of Aharon Karov. He was a Chatan, and he left the day after the chuppah. He went to join up with his soldiers, because he was leading them. And he felt, I can't let them go into battle without me. So I think you're going to be amazed. And as I said, his injury was the most severe injury suffered by any Israeli soldier in Kasled, and that survived. And Baruch Hashem, as you see before him, he has survived and is still a gorgeous-looking young man and married. And Baruch Hashem will lead a healthy life for many more years. We'll hear from Aharon himself and then from his father, Rav Zeev Karov.
I don't speak English. don't speak Hebrew, and slowly, וגם הרב קובי יתרגם אותי.
So Aharon started with two main points. The first point being the ability to overcome challenges at any time, and the second point being the emunah, faith he has in Hashem throughout the process. And he started describing just the state he was in at the very beginning, when his entire body was injured. Needless to say, his face, his nose, his eyes, his ability to walk, talk, and even eat. And then slowly being rehabilitated and going through that process was not an easy thing. It was a daily challenge. So imagine a situation where people are all excited about you eating a little bit of baby food, and you're 23 years old and you want to eat a big steak after not eating for a couple of months, and baby food is all you're being given. Or reading a book with your 2-year-old where you're more or less on the same level because your brain hasn't adjusted yet, is not accustomed to reading, and you're reading with her names of fruit, names of colours, and that is just more or less what you're able to do yourself. This can be frustrating, can be upsetting. Nevertheless, Aharon was willing and capable to overcome these challenges thanks to his emunah b'Hashem.
No one gave to Aharon any chance to be with us. And no one thought he would talk. No one thought he would to go to university. But he has done all this and more.
At the very beginning, Aharon experienced walking difficulties, walking 1 step, 2 steps, then falling, and then getting up and walking again, fainting, trying to walk was a challenge in itself. And at that point he asked himself, how am I going to overcome these challenges? He mentioned Yaakov Avinu in the Parashat Vayetze, where there was a sulam utzavarta v'rosho magia hashamayma. The sulam, the ladder, was based on earth, but the sulam, the ladder, reached heaven. Yaakov Avinu was a man of emunah, a man of faith. He was connected to heaven, he was connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he came to the conclusion that if he connects himself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there is no challenge which he cannot overcome. And every challenge which he is presented with, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give him the strength and the ability to overcome and eventually meet his targets and his goals.
No one thought he would raise a family. Now he has 2 children, a girl, Hodaya, and boy, Am Yisrael.
Aharon spoke about the element of Klal Yisrael being a unit. Am Yisrael, Goy Echad Ba'aretz. No matter where we are, we look after each other, pray for each other. And he was amazed to see people saying Tehillim around the world for him. People who he's never met, people who don't know who he is, where he's come from. They just hear his name and they know his story, and they were davening for him. This included people who were secular people, Haredi people, people from all spectrums of society who were able to come together and daven for his well-being.
How did this happen? With Hashem help, of course. and with strong willpower and real faith. We must know it. 4 years ago, when he was soldiers in the Israeli army, he got married, and 7 hours after the wedding, he wounded very serious.
And he was amazed to walk into a school a couple of years ago where children said, yes, we're still saying Tehillim for you because we know that you need a refuah shalema. Or a few months ago when he walked into a restaurant, there were a few Americans sitting at the table, called him over and asked him who he is. When he said Aharon Karov, they immediately knew who he was and what his story is. And one of the Americans at the table, as Americans would do, so he was saying, started shouting, Am Yisrael, Ner Yisrael, Aharon Karov, Baruch Tiyeh. And while all this excitement was going on, he was speechless. But then this American guy explained to him that actually his whole community in Phoenix, did you say? Phoenix. The whole community in Phoenix was saying Tehillim for him. He's not even a religious man, but saying Tehillim for him was a privilege. And he was so happy to see him there. And he really felt a feeling of brotherhood with people who he had never met.
Hundreds of pieces of shrapnel entered his body, 8 pieces of his brain, and there wasn't a doctor who gave him a chance to live. Since this time, we have seen many miracles and God willing. He returned to himself, as you see. The first operation to save him lasted 18 hours. 18 hours. I sat behind his bed and said the psalms, Tehillim. What can Jew do in this situation?
כמו תינוק אחרי הפציעה, ואם זה לכל האנשים לבוא ולהתגבר ולדעת שיש מישהו מלמעלה שהוא זה שנותן לנו את הכוח, והוא נותן לעם ישראל את הכוח לבוא ולהמשיך.
It's Klal Yisrael that gives him the strength and the ability to continue.
Everything in the world has 2 parts. The inside and the outside. The seen and unseen. We have hands, we have feet, yes, we have eyes, and we have personality, we have soul. What we see with our eyes is not the main point. The truth is under the surface, behind everything.
I'd just like to add one minute. I had the schut of studying in Kollel in Incarnation 1, where I did my smicha with Rav Zeev Karov. I actually used to go to Rav Karov's shir once a week. And when I was in Incarnation 1, you actually saw the house I was living in while I was in Kollel. It's the Shoham's house right across the road from you. And I knew Aharon while you were running around in the Beis HaMidrash as an 8-year-old boy.
People must know the answer to the question, why? Why we live in Israel? Why do we have a right and an obligation to live as Jews? Most of the people in Israel now are thirsty to know, to continue to connection to the values. We did not come to Israel by mistake. This is our country, and the whole world knows. And Panim el Panim movement is bringing about change in Am Yisrael in Israel. Step by step, little by little, we are renewing the connection between the Israeli public and our values and our history. We have a tried and true method that we are bringing into the school, into the army, into the kibbutzim. And I want to say more things. One of the important things that help us to the family in the hard hours, it's positive eyes. The Mishnah teaches anyone who is student of Abraham Avinu as a good eye. It's Mishnah in Masechet Avot. What does a good eyes mean? We have bad eyes and good eyes. What is the meaning? And the Torah tells us, do not stray after your heart and after your eyes. What is the problem with our eyes? We have 3 levels in a good eye, and I want to tell you the first level. Good eyes, it's simple. To seeing the good all around us. Most of us do not know how to look about the good thing. We hear, we see, we talk. It's simple. We are not looking to understand what it means to go, what it means to talk, to see. Therefore, no one of us is dancing all morning. When we wake up, maybe hear someone wake up in the morning and dance. I see. I walk. Yes? No. Why not? Why not? It's unbelievable. I tell you, when I teach these lessons, in the first month after Aharon wandered, every time he was able to do something new, we made the celebration. He moved hand. He opened eyes, one eye. What happened to the one eye? Okay, it's not to talk about it. All the things, we did a celebration. This may sound strange. What is there to be happy about young men, 23 years old, that moved, that open eye? What? And for example, I want to share with you the strong story about this. After we saw many miracles, the doctor said us that he never talked, because 8 pieces of shrapnel entered in the left brain, and here is so I think 4 months after he wounded, he returned to talk. Not to talk like he talk now, but so when I heard in the first time one word he said me, Father, everything okay. I bless in Shem Malchut. ברוך אתה השם אלוקינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. And after 10 minutes, I asked myself, you have 7 children. You thought to bless שהחיינו when they start to talk? I know that I know blessing, but you thought about it? We have problem. We didn't know how to see the good things. We talk a lot about what we are missing, about the glass half empty. Excuse me. And talk little about the good things. So the first step toward a good eye is to see the good, simple, to see the good things. And a positive eye discover us a new life.
When I heard about the injury, and I'm sorry to say, but the message from the yeshiva, the email from the yeshiva was basically, we don't think we'll see you again. And I didn't know what I should say and what we should actually respond. We said to hear him in school and to see you here again, Baruch Hashem, giving us all chizuk is absolutely tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And you just say that I hope that Am Yisrael you should see lots of nachas from your children, not only from your children. We should be mechanech Klal Yisrael's children with these same messages, express these messages to the wide world. They should see the strength, that הכוח שיש בך, שתצליח בעזרת השם לך מיכאל אל חיל, ואת הכוח הזה להפיץ ברבים, כי זה דבר עצום. יישר כוח, תודה רבה.
I'm going to finish now with a part Parshat Shavua. Yaakov Avinu, and this is also something to do with Panim el Panim. One of the greatest problems is the determination or the weakening of the determination. Not in most of the young people, Baruch Hashem. Most of the young men and women still want to serve in the army. There are some that don't. But most of them still, and you can't explain it, how they fight to get into the best and the most dangerous units in the Israeli army. Baruch Hashem, it's still that way, that there's still a dedication to Am Yisrael and to Eretz Yisrael, even if they don't understand it. Yaakov Avinu, in this week's Sedra, when he's heading back to Eretz Canaan, as Hashem told him to do and he realized he should be doing, he meets the Ish, the mysterious man that we assume, we know the story, so he's an angel. Rashbam says an interesting thing. What was Yaakov Avinu doing at night? Why was he moving the camp to cross the Nachal, to cross the Yabok? Rashbam says, Rashi's grandson says he was running away. He decided that he can't do it. And you can be mefarish, he didn't believe in himself. He didn't believe that he can do the best. He should run away from Esav. And Hashem sends the malach to teach him. No, you can do it. And the name Yaakov, if you want, he's a heel, not in the English sense. He was going to show Esav his heels. He was going to run away, according to the Rashbam. And Hashem drags him back with the malach and changes his name. Why is the name so significant? Believe in the derech. Believe in the justice of our way. Eretz Yisrael is ours in entirety. If we can't hold on to it or not, it's because we're not good. We don't merit yet to do it without a battle. But Hashem is telling us it's ours, and He's showing all of Am Yisrael that it's ours, even if we have to do battle. So when He's called Yisrael, you're not the heel. You are Yashar Kel. Sarita Melukim Be'adam Vatuchal. You can battle it out with human beings and with the Shamayim, because you have the justice of your way. And that's what the organization Panim el Panim is trying to do. In the places, in the segments of the Israeli population that it's weakened, there is a weakening, there is a crack. They're trying to fill that crack, to show them, what are you talking about? What are you listening to the world and what they're saying? We have to worry about, we're living global politics and so on. But first, inside, we have to know it is ours. And we have to make sure that the whole Jewish people know that, especially those that we expect them to la'amod bigvura. So first, I want to express my appreciation to Aharon. This is the first time I've seen him since his psiya. I don't think, I might have seen him lying in his bed then, and I can tell you, I cried when I saw it, and I'm crying now. To see such young men that have dedication, and families like that imagine this test that he was put through, his family was put through. Thank God for Am Yisrael. Thank God we have Kadosh Baruch Hu that protects us and gives us the strength. And Be'ezrat Hashem, together, when we strengthen all of Am Yisrael, even the weaker parts, because there are Jews and there are brothers, Be'ezrat Hashem, the Gula will come that much quicker.